Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Mayor of Castries, Peterson has announced major progress in diplomacy and strengthened relations with Trinidad and Tobago, along with opportunities for investment. The mayor, along with a small contingent, recently returned home after an official visit to the Twin Island Republic. More in this report.
The mayor's official visit to Trinidad and Tobago began on Sunday, November 4th, 2018, with a series of meetings which would pave the way for better relations between cities and townships in St. Lucia and the Twin Island Republic.
It really opened my eyes to a lot of things, especially management of this corporation and the CCC. The very good thing that happened to me is this: apparently I'm being followed by the mayors in Trinidad, and who are encouraging me that they like what I'm doing. And one of the things we spoke about mainly is, as I said before I left here, that if we do not look, local government is going to die, because at the end of the day we look like we are competing against each other, our own.
Discussions pertaining to local government and strengthening relations through city-to-city partnerships were held with the mayors of Port of Spain, Arima, San Fernando, Mayaro Rio Claro and Point Fortin. Each TNT mayor welcomed developmental twinning proposals.
But nobody look at the bigger picture. They look at it. When I travel, and I have not traveled to talk about, I've traveled only about 3 times in my 2 years, only 3. But whatever I go and do is make sure it's for the benefit of council. And I'm not going to go wrong and just go for jolly wide. So when I go there, I go and make contacts. I go and see how, for argument's sake, where I have to discuss it, the Minister of Agriculture. While I was there's somebody who's very serious who is now in St. Vincent trying to pursue the establishment of a fish processing plant. Okay, which is, they send things to Canada and the rest of the thing and so on. Right, that person was in discussion, have sent me a proposal. I'm now going to try to see the Minister of Agriculture to see how we could. So these are the things that we are looking at.
Mayor Francis also held discussions with the Japanese ambassador, His Excellency Mitsushiko Okada, at the Embassy of Japan. The talks with the Japanese diplomat focused on new project initiatives. Before leaving Trinidad and Tobago, the Castries mayor met with representatives of the mounted and canine branches of TNT Police Service and Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gary Griffith, to discuss crime control strategies.
These are the things that we are looking at. And when I travel is to see how I could improve on what we have been doing at the CCC. Okay, we look at our security, for argument's sake. We were accommodated to see the canine division of the police, and you see these dogs and what these dogs could do, and this is something we have to look at seriously in the city, right? You could look as well for drugs, as well for ammunition, knives, and they could actually detect it, and we have to move forward.
The mayor's series of meetings in Trinidad and Tobago formed part of strategies to build strong partnerships in an effort to improve and develop the city of Castries from an economic and security perspective. Reporting from the office of the mayor, I am Jason Hollandseed.
540 feet of glimmering water will soon be a playground for guests who visit the SandalsHalcyon Beach Resort. A media walkthrough of the property was carried out on Thursday, showcasing the hard work that local contractors have put in so far.
Minister for Tourism, Information and Broadcasting Dominic Fede, together with key stakeholders in the tourism industry, took part in a walkthrough of the newly constructed 540-foot pool located at SandalsHalcyon Beach Resort. The pool is being touted as the longest in the Eastern Caribbean and looks to give Sandals an edge over its competitors, whilst making St. Lucia a go-to destination amongst other Caribbean islands. Senior Project Manager at Sandals, Mark Harding, expresses that this project created an avenue for employment for a number of local contractors and workers.
We started digging on the 19th of July, believe it or not. So just a couple days ago would have been exactly 4 months since we started. I think we lost about 3 weeks to rain. Otherwise, we would have been completed by now, but we still have a few minor snags to do. All told, we had about, at the peak of construction, which was about a month and a half ago, we had about 120 workers on site. Local. So it ramped up, yeah, all local. Ramped up from, say, 50, 60 when we started doing the excavation to 120 when the tiling and everything was going on, the works in the room. The spend was just a wee bit over 12 million EC, or 4.5 million US, but that includes the pool and works to the rooms. If you notice the rooms, we have smart TVs, we install new lit mirrors, these glass balustrades. So all told, a spend of about 12 million.
Renovations were carried out on 76 rooms of the Paradise Grove section of the SandalsHalcyon Beach Resort. General Manager Christopher Elliott explains that the alteration of the rooms is not based solely on the construction, but also in the service that will be available to guests of those rooms.
So what we've done, we've transformed all the ground floor rooms and converted them to concierge, which is now our Club Sandals service that will be provided to these bottom floor rooms. But important thing to note is with this pool behind us here, which is going to be the longest pool in the Caribbean, over 500 feet long. When our guests arrive, and we have our first guests arriving for these rooms on Saturday, October 1st, they are going to be greeted by this new facility. December 1st, which is in a week and a half. They're going to be greeted with this new facility. A lot of our guests are not even aware that they're going to have a river pool in front of their rooms.
Sandals received glowing reviews from Minister for Tourism Dominic Feddy for their continued efforts in investing monies into the island of St. Lucia and using their mega marketing dollars to promote the Caribbean as a luxury getaway destination. Feddy also noted the beneficial link that tourism plays within the construction industry and expressed his satisfaction with Sandals' continued revitalization of its brand.
They are certainly the single largest generator of foreign exchange to our country. And they are certainly leading the charge as it relates to marketing the Caribbean and St. Lucia. So whenever you see a Sandals development, there's tremendous promotion for that destination as well because of the strength of their marketing and the might of their marketing machinery. I think that we're very, very pleased. Not a lot of people are investing money in the Caribbean at the moment. And when you look at Sandals, they continue to inject millions into these islands. We're very much looking forward to the fourth property, which we believe is going to resume, and we hope to resume. If the project was on stream, we would have had well over 1,000 jobs at the moment at the Pigeon Island Causeway. We're seeing today a very strong nexus between tourism and construction. So this project actually peaked at 120 jobs, where young women, young men were on this site earning a living, feeding their families.
Fede went on to state that as a brand, Sandals fits into the romance honeymoon niche market that St. Lucia is renowned for, making this project a win-win situation for both Sandals and the St. Lucian tourism product. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solej Alfred.
Keith Smith is a man on a mission. His focus is on the development of social programs to empower young men. He founded his Back on Track Ministries in 1991 and now aims to establish a headquarters in Dennery to deliver services to the community, in particular vulnerable young men who need life skills and job training to better position themselves for success in life.
We have a large space where we want to create a space to create skills and provide skills for men and for boys. We want to give men who are unemployed and frustrated the opportunity to interact with other men. Our headquarters will also be a place where I will introduce for the very first time in this country what I call agri-sports. Agri-sports is a combination of agriculture and the sporting activities where we're hoping that the scientific, the nutritional values of the foods that we find in the agricultural environment will be combined with sports so that most of our young men will have an idea as to what they need to eat in terms of the foods to make them last a certain day.
Smith is committed to hosting a forum come the 13th of December outside the Bodley Correctional Facility. The organization is also aiming to form 2 targeted groups, one for women and one to be rolled out in schools.
We have the Big Up program. It is an acronym for Boys Inspired into Goodness, Upholding Purpose. Our schools will benefit with the Big Up Sports and the Big Up program. we have a program for women which is called WOW, Win Some Optimistic Women. How do women play their role in helping men move away from antisocial behavior or to deal with their grudges? Most women, we have thank God for them, they are very beautiful and they use their body to influence men. But the time has come where we have to move away from using our bodies as ladies, if I should speak in that context, and we also want to use our mind to encourage men to engage in positive, productive behavior.
The president of Back on Track Ministries warns that before young men fall into the ill-fated path of the Boys Training Center, followed by the Bordelais Correctional Facility, there needs to be due attention to their unique challenges. This is where he says the society needs to join hands with Back on Track Ministries to ensure social safety nets. In other news, Rochelle Gonzalez allowed members of the public to speak their minds on how they think the plight of local musicians should be addressed in light of St. Cecilia's Day.
Today is St. Cecilia's Day, where we celebrate the Feast of Musicians. And as you can hear behind me, music is undoubtedly a major part of our culture in St. Lucia. But yet still, local musicians, they still get the short end of the stick. So what more do you think could be done to protect the plight of our local musicians? Have your say.
Well, musicians are the greatest enemies. We don't have a union today because the musicians refuse to cooperate. Taxi drivers have a union. Minibus drivers have a union. Musicians cannot get together to have a union simply because there's some problems to this. You know, the musicians that are better than other musicians. They deliver better music, classy music. So that creates a price struggle in the hotels. To get work at the hotels, you go for cheaper price just to accommodate yourself and your music.
I think that the musicians should have a union because we're not getting nothing from music in St. Lucia. I think in the hotel getting everything. When you go play in the hotel, sometimes it takes a long time before we get paid. But if we have a union, the union will help us so everything will be all right. But we definitely need a musical union in St. Lucia.
When I was in the night train in 1976, we worked for $1,500 a month. That's at Black Hawk Hotel. Now a band can't get 500. That is 40 years later. That means probably they're just giving us 50 cents. It's worse than that. I wrote an article about we are to blame for what's happening with us, and that's exactly what it is. Fellas are getting together, we're undercutting each other at the hotel, and they're taking advantage of us because we are not organized. It's time musicians get organized in St. Lucia.
I cannot give you a reason why we do not have a union. Actually, I think it's because we are not united. We are not united, and we're not together enough as local musicians in St. Lucia. A while ago you were talking about sometimes the people only know us when Journey Creole and stuff like that, and when they have certain activities. I know that it is so true that I wasn't even in Journey Creole this year.
There's something called cutthroat. In the fact that if your band is going to play for like $1,000, another band will take it for $600, which we feel is not fair at all, because buying equipment is so expensive. A little mic, an instrument lead itself costs so much money, so it doesn't make sense, going out there for you to be working for that little bit. So I feel to myself that we should all join together. If we put in up a price should be competitive. You can't work for $1,000 and another band want to work for $600. It doesn't make no sense at all.
Well, you just heard what they had to say. Want a chance to have your say? Come join us next week Thursday at the William Peter Boulevard, where you can get the chance to have your say. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.